Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're talking about 10 things you must work on every day. Your morning is the foundation of everything that follows in your day. It's not just a routine or a time slot on the clock. It's the launch pad for your mindset, your energy, and ultimately your success. How you start your day sets the tone for your entire life, whether you realize it or not. That first hour after waking up can either be the biggest gift you give yourself or the worst sabotage you allow. Mastering your morning means taking control of your environment, your body, and your mind immediately after you open your eyes. It means rejecting the passive act of hitting snooze or scrolling endlessly through social media feeds. Instead, it's about intentionally crafting a series of habits that prepare your brain and body to be fully alert, motivated, and ready to tackle challenges with clarity and focus. One of the first things you must do is expose yourself to natural sunlight. This is not a trivial suggestion. Light is one of the most powerful regulators of your internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm. The moment you wake up and get natural light into your eyes, your brain receives a chemical signal that it's time to switch from sleep mode to wake mode. This signal helps reduce the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone, and increases cortisol levels in a healthy way to boost your alertness. If you skip this step and stay in darkness or artificial light, your brain struggles to reset and you feel groggy, distracted, or lethargic throughout the day. So even if it's cold or rainy, find a window or step outside for a few minutes to soak in that light. It's an investment in your productivity and mood. Hydration is the next critical piece of your morning puzzle. Overnight, your body becomes dehydrated simply because you haven't consumed any fluids for several hours. This dehydration can make you feel sluggish, impair cognitive function, and increase stress hormone levels. Drinking a glass of water first thing wakes up your digestive system, flushes out toxins, and helps jumpstart your metabolism. Adding a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon can enhance this effect by providing essential minerals and aiding digestion. Hydration isn't just about quenching thirst. It's about recharging your cells and preparing your brain to operate at peak performance. Movement follows naturally. Even if you're not a gym person, moving your body in the morning can radically change how you feel and function for the rest of the day. This doesn't mean you have to hit the treadmill or lift heavy weights, although those are great options if you enjoy them. A simple stretch, a few yoga poses, or a brisk walk around the block are powerful ways to increase blood flow and oxygen delivery to your brain and muscles. Movement triggers the release of endorphins and neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which elevate mood and sharpen mental focus. It also increases body temperature, which primes your metabolism and prepares you to face whatever demands the day will throw at you. Without this step, you risk staying in a state of low energy and mental fog, which makes it much harder to concentrate or be productive. The way you frame your thoughts in the morning also matters deeply. Mastering your morning means adopting an intentional mindset from the very first moment. Instead of starting with worry, stress, or a to-do list that feels overwhelming, practice a moment of gratitude or positive affirmation. This could be as simple as acknowledging 3 things you're thankful for, or repeating a phrase that centers you and inspires confidence. Research shows that gratitude rewires the brain to focus on opportunities rather than obstacles, reducing anxiety and improving emotional resilience. When you deliberately choose empowering thoughts, you program your nervous system to be calm, alert, and ready to take on challenges rather than react to them. Another aspect of mastering your morning is avoiding immediate exposure to digital distractions. Checking emails, social media, or news first thing can flood your brain with reactive stress signals and fragment your attention. This habit often leads to feeling overwhelmed before you've even had a chance to prepare yourself mentally or physically. Instead, give yourself a window of 30 to 60 minutes of device-free time dedicated to the practices mentioned: sunlight, hydration, movement, and mindset work. This buffer creates a mental container where you are in control, not technology or outside demands. Finally, mastering your morning means creating a ritual, a consistent set of actions that you follow day after day. Rituals create predictability and safety for your brain, which reduces decision fatigue and conserves willpower. When you have a morning routine that works, you don't have to think about what to do next. Your brain simply flows through the steps automatically, conserving energy for higher level problem solving and creativity. This kind of discipline builds momentum, which compounds over time, turning small daily habits into major life transformations. In essence, mastering your morning is about more than just waking up early or having a checklist. It's about resetting your brain and body to their optimal state, intentionally and consistently. It's the single most powerful leverage point you have to influence your energy, your mindset, and your performance all day long. Focus is the engine that drives every achievement, every breakthrough, and every moment of productivity. Without the ability to direct your attention deliberately, your potential remains scattered and your goals elusive. Training your focus is not about forcing yourself to stare at one thing for hours on end. It's about cultivating the mental discipline and neurological conditions necessary to sustain attention on what truly matters, blocking out distractions, and harnessing your cognitive power in service of your highest priorities. In today's world, focus has become more precious and more rare than ever before. We live in an era of constant interruptions, endless notifications, and infinite sources of digital noise. Every app, message, and alert fights for your brain's limited attention span, fragmenting your day and leaving you feeling exhausted yet unfulfilled. To reclaim your focus is to reclaim your life, your creativity, and your ability to perform at your best. Training your focus starts with understanding how your brain's attention system works. The brain is wired to seek novelty and avoid boredom, which means it naturally jumps from one stimulus to another. This survival mechanism once helped our ancestors stay alert to threats in their environment. Today, however, it can become a source of constant distraction, pulling you away from deep, meaningful work. To override this instinct, you must intentionally cultivate habits that strengthen your ability to sustain attention and resist the urge to switch tasks. One of the most effective ways to train focus is to use dedicated time blocks for concentrated work. The brain operates optimally in roughly 90-minute cycles of high alertness, followed by brief periods of rest. This is often called the ultradian rhythm. By aligning your work sessions with these natural cycles, you maximize your ability to concentrate deeply without burning out. Setting a timer for 90 minutes and committing to uninterrupted work during this time creates a container for your attention. During these blocks, remove all potential distractions, turn off notifications, close unrelated tabs, and silence your phone. This focused environment tells your brain it's time to zero in and do its best work. Another key to training your focus is practicing mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you become aware of when your mind wanders and gently guide it back to the present moment. Over time, this strengthens the neural pathways responsible for sustained attention. Even a few minutes a day of focused breathing or guided meditation can improve your ability to concentrate during work or study. Mindfulness trains you to notice distractions without judgment and redirect your focus intentionally, which is the essence of mental discipline. Eliminating multitasking is also crucial. While it might seem like juggling multiple tasks increases productivity, research consistently shows the opposite. Multitasking splits your attention and reduces the quality and speed of your work. When you switch rapidly between tasks, your brain must constantly reorient itself, which is mentally exhausting and inefficient. Instead, commit to single tasking, giving your full attention to one task at a time until it's complete, or until your focused work session ends. This approach not only improves output, but also reduces stress and mental fatigue. Your environment plays a huge role in how well you can focus. A cluttered, noisy, or uncomfortable workspace disrupts concentration and increases cognitive load. Training your focus means designing your surroundings to support deep work. This could mean decluttering your desk, using noise-canceling headphones, or creating a dedicated quiet space for work. Even small changes like adjusting lighting or room temperature can affect your ability to stay alert and engaged. Your environment should send a clear message to your brain. This is a place for focus and flow. Nutrition and hydration also influence your attention span. The brain requires a steady supply of glucose and hydration to function optimally. Skipping meals or becoming dehydrated can cause cognitive fog, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. Fueling your body with balanced meals and staying hydrated throughout the day supports mental clarity and sustained focus. Building focus is also about understanding and managing your energy. You are not a machine. Your brain has limits. Periodic breaks are essential to reset your attention and avoid burnout. Techniques like the Pomodoro method, working in focused intervals followed by short breaks, leverage this principle. Use breaks to stand, stretch, or briefly shift your gaze away from screens. These micro rests help maintain high-quality focus over longer periods. In addition to these habits, setting clear goals and priorities enhances your ability to concentrate. When you know exactly what you need to accomplish and why it matters, your brain locks on to those objectives more easily. Start your day by identifying your top tasks, then dedicate your focused sessions to making real progress on them. Without this clarity, your mind wanders, caught in a fog of indecision and distraction. Training your focus is a skill that compounds over time. Like a muscle, your ability to concentrate grows stronger the more you challenge it with intentional practice. The payoff is immense. Improved productivity, deeper creativity, reduced stress, and a greater sense of accomplishment. Focus transforms vague intentions into concrete results and turns dreams into achievable realities. Movement is fundamental to human life, not just for physical health, but for mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall vitality. Yet, in a world increasingly dominated by sedentary lifestyles, it's easy to forget how deeply connected our bodies and minds truly are. Moving like it matters means embracing daily physical activity as a non-negotiable priority, recognizing that every step, every stretch, and every breath of fresh air contributes to the way you think, feel, and perform. This is not about occasional bursts of exercise or pushing yourself to exhaustion. It's about consistently moving your body in ways that support your well-being and fuel your ambition. Your body was designed to move. Our ancestors survived because they ran, climbed, lifted, and adapted physically to the world around them. Today, though, many of us spend hours sitting at desks, staring at screens, and moving as little as possible. This mismatch between how we live and what our bodies need creates not only physical problems like poor posture, weakened muscles, and chronic pain, but also mental challenges. Movement is a natural way to regulate mood, reduce anxiety, and sharpen cognitive function. It releases neurochemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins that boost happiness, motivation, and resilience. When you move like it matters, you honor the interconnectedness of body and mind. It's not just a task to check off, but a powerful tool to improve your entire life experience. Even small doses of physical activity, such as a brisk 10-minute walk or a few stretches at your desk, can shift your mental state from fatigue to alertness, from stress to calm. Movement increases blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients to the brain, which enhances memory, focus, and creativity. It also helps regulate hormones that influence energy levels and sleep quality. Exercise, in particular, is one of the most potent ways to build both physical strength and mental discipline. But moving like it matters doesn't require you to be an athlete or to spend hours in the gym. The key is consistency and intention. Whether it's weightlifting, yoga, running, swimming, dancing, or simply playing outside, find activities that resonate with you and make them part of your daily routine. When movement feels like a punishment or a chore, it becomes easy to skip. When it feels like a celebration of what your body can do and a pathway to feeling your best, it becomes addictive in a positive way. There is also an emotional dimension to movement. Physical activity is a form of self-respect and self-care. It sends a message to your subconscious that you matter, that your body deserves attention and respect. This mindset shift can translate into greater confidence, improved self-possession, and a stronger commitment to other areas of your life. Moving regularly builds momentum that spills over into your habits, work ethic, and relationships. Another important aspect of moving like it matters is understanding how movement helps you manage stress. Chronic stress triggers a cascade of biological reactions that can harm your brain and body if left unchecked. Physical activity activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps calm your mind and reduce the harmful effects of stress hormones like cortisol. It's like hitting a reset button on your nervous system. Movement also provides a constructive outlet for pent-up tension and frustration, preventing these emotions from festering and manifesting in unhealthy ways. Movement improves resilience too. By challenging your muscles, cardiovascular system, and balance, you build a stronger foundation that supports you through life's challenges. This physical resilience mirrors mental resilience, the capacity to face difficulties, recover quickly, and adapt with flexibility. The discipline required to show up and move every day translates into other areas of perseverance and grit. Importantly, moving like it matters is about listening to your body and moving in ways that feel good, sustainable, and safe. It's not about pushing to extremes or ignoring signals of pain or fatigue. Overtraining or ignoring proper recovery can backfire, leading to injury and burnout. Instead, cultivate a balanced approach that includes a mix of strength, flexibility, endurance, and rest. This holistic approach builds long-term health and vitality. Your environment and daily habits can either support or undermine your commitment to movement. Creating spaces that encourage activity, whether it's a standing desk, a nearby park, or scheduled workout times, makes it easier to stay consistent. Surround yourself with people who value movement because community and accountability are powerful motivators. Celebrate small victories and progress, knowing that every step forward is a step toward a stronger, more vibrant you. When movement becomes a daily priority, it's no longer just about looking good or avoiding disease. It becomes a key strategy to unlock your highest potential in every area of life. You become more energetic, more focused, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. The brain is the most complex and energy-demanding organ in your body, yet it is often neglected in the rush of daily life. To truly thrive, mentally, emotionally, and physically, you must prioritize nourishing your brain with the right foods, nutrients, and habits. Nourishing your brain means more than just eating. It means understanding how what you consume directly influences your cognitive function, mood, and resilience against stress and illness. The quality of your brain fuel shapes how well you think, how sharply you focus, and how deeply you connect with the world around you. The brain consumes about 20% of the body's total energy, despite representing only about 2% of your body weight. This high metabolic demand means it needs a steady supply of oxygen, glucose, and essential nutrients to operate at peak performance. What you put on your plate is the raw material that builds neurons, strengthens synaptic connections, and protects against oxidative stress and inflammation. Poor nutrition creates a weak foundation for mental health and cognitive agility, while a nutrient-rich diet fortifies your brain against cognitive decline and emotional instability. One of the most important aspects of nourishing your brain is maintaining balanced blood sugar levels. The brain's preferred energy source is glucose, but spikes and crashes caused by processed sugars and refined carbs can lead to brain fog, irritability, and decreased mental endurance. Instead, consuming complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, and lean proteins provides a slow and steady release of energy, allowing your brain to work consistently throughout the day. Foods like whole grains, nuts, seeds, fatty fish, and leafy greens contain nutrients that support this balance, stabilizing mood and improving concentration. Omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA and EPA found in fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, are critical components of brain cell membranes. These fats promote fluidity in neuronal membranes, enabling efficient communication between brain cells. They also possess anti-inflammatory properties that protect the brain from damage and support neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections. Deficiencies in omega-3s are linked to cognitive decline, depression, and other neurological disorders, highlighting the importance of including these healthy fats in your diet regularly. Antioxidants play a vital role in protecting the brain from oxidative damage caused by free radicals. Oxidative stress is a key factor in aging and neurodegenerative diseases. Brightly colored fruits and vegetables such as berries, spinach, kale, and beets are rich in antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, and flavonoids, which neutralize harmful molecules and reduce inflammation. By filling your plate with a rainbow of produce, you provide your brain with natural defense mechanisms to maintain its health and function. Hydration is another critical factor in nourishing the brain. The brain is approximately 75% water, and even mild dehydration can impair cognitive function, mood, and alertness. Drinking adequate water throughout the day supports the delivery of nutrients and the removal of toxins. Dehydration can lead to fatigue, headaches, and difficulty concentrating. So making hydration a daily habit is essential for mental clarity. Beyond nutrients, certain lifestyle habits enhance brain nourishment. For example, intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating has gained attention for its potential to improve brain health by promoting autophagy, a process that clears out damaged cells and regenerates neural tissue. These practices may improve memory and protect against neurodegeneration by optimizing cellular repair mechanisms. Sleep is intimately tied to brain nourishment as well. During deep sleep, the brain clears metabolic waste products and consolidates memories. Without sufficient restorative sleep, your brain cannot effectively repair itself, process emotions, or maintain cognitive function. Nourishing your brain means prioritizing sleep hygiene alongside your diet. Certain supplements and herbal compounds may also support brain function, including B vitamins, magnesium, curcumin, and ginkgo biloba. However, the foundation must always be a whole foods-based diet, rich in the nutrients that the brain naturally craves. Relying solely on supplements without a healthy diet and lifestyle is unlikely to yield lasting benefits. The gut-brain connection is an emerging area of study, highlighting how the health of your digestive system impacts brain health. A balanced gut microbiome supports nutrient absorption, reduces inflammation, and influences neurotransmitter production. Eating fiber-rich foods, fermented products like yogurt or kimchi, and avoiding excessive processed foods contribute to a thriving gut environment that nourishes the brain from the inside out. Ultimately, nourishing your brain is about respect and intentionality. It means choosing foods and habits that fuel your mental performance rather than drain it. It's an investment in your clarity, creativity, and emotional balance that pays dividends in every aspect of your life. Your brain's health is the foundation for your success, and treating it with care unlocks your full potential. In a culture that often glorifies nonstop hustle and relentless productivity, the importance of rest and recovery is frequently underestimated or outright ignored. Yet, rest is not a sign of weakness or laziness. It is an essential pillar of performance, health, and long-term success. Prioritizing rest and recovery means recognizing that your body and mind are not machines designed to run at full throttle indefinitely. Instead, they need regular pauses to repair, recharge, and recalibrate. Without adequate rest, your capacity to learn, create, and perform deteriorates, leaving you vulnerable to burnout, illness, and cognitive decline. The process of recovery is not passive downtime. It's an active and intentional practice that supports growth and resilience. When you engage in strenuous physical activity, your muscles break down and need time to rebuild stronger. Similarly, your nervous system requires periods of calm to process experiences, reduce stress hormones, and restore balance. Sleep is perhaps the most critical component of rest, where the brain consolidates memories, removes toxins, and balances neurotransmitters that regulate mood and cognition. Prioritizing rest means valuing these biological processes as much as your active efforts toward your goals. Modern technology and the always-on culture often interfere with natural rhythms of rest. Many people sacrifice sleep to meet deadlines, scroll endlessly through social media, or binge-watch shows late into the night. This chronic sleep deprivation disrupts circadian rhythms, the internal clock that governs sleep-wake cycles, and impairs hormone production, immune function, and mental sharpness. The cumulative effects include slower reaction times, reduced creativity, impaired judgment, and an increased risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart conditions. Making rest a priority means protecting your sleep as fiercely as you protect your work hours. Beyond sleep, rest and recovery include mental breaks and relaxation throughout the day. Our brains can focus intensely only for limited periods before attention wanes and errors increase. Short breaks refresh your mental resources and improve overall productivity. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness meditation, or simply stepping away from your workspace can lower stress hormones and reset your cognitive state. These micro-recoveries build resilience and enable sustained performance over hours and days. Physical recovery also demands attention to nutrition, hydration, and active rest. Consuming nutrient-rich foods supports tissue repair and replenishes energy stores depleted by physical and mental exertion. Staying hydrated optimizes cellular function and prevents fatigue. Active recovery, like gentle stretching, yoga, or light walking, enhances circulation, reduces muscle soreness, and maintains mobility without adding stress. These practices collectively create a foundation for optimal performance and long-term health. Listening to your body's signals is a fundamental aspect of prioritizing rest. Fatigue, persistent soreness, irritability, or difficulty concentrating are signs that your body needs more time to recover. Ignoring these cues can lead to overtraining, injury, and mental burnout. It takes discipline and self-awareness to slow down when your instinct is often to push harder. However, learning to respect your limits and build recovery into your routine ultimately enhances endurance and prevents setbacks. Recovery is also deeply tied to emotional well-being. Chronic stress and anxiety tax the nervous system, causing a state of hyperarousal that impedes restful sleep and mental clarity. Prioritizing rest means engaging in practices that soothe the mind, such as spending time in nature, nurturing social connections, or pursuing hobbies that bring joy and relaxation. Emotional recovery replenishes your psychological resources and helps you approach challenges with renewed perspective and calm. Rest and recovery cycles are integral to creativity and problem solving. Many breakthroughs occur not during forced effort, but in moments of relaxation, daydreaming, or sleep. Giving your brain time and space to process information subconsciously allows connections to form that conscious effort alone cannot achieve. This is why creative professionals often emphasize the importance of stepping away from work and allowing ideas to incubate. The mindset surrounding rest must shift from seeing it as an indulgence to recognizing it as a strategic tool for success. High performers understand that consistent rest periods increase their capacity to execute difficult tasks, maintain emotional balance, and sustain motivation. Scheduling rest just as you schedule work ensures it is protected and respected. This includes setting boundaries around work hours, limiting exposure to screens before bed, and creating a sleep-friendly environment free from distractions. Finally, prioritizing rest and recovery supports longevity, not just in career but in life. Sustainable performance depends on balance between effort and ease, stimulation and calm, activity and rest. It enables you to show up fully each day with the energy and clarity needed to meet your goals and enjoy the journey. Mental clarity is the foundation upon which focus, creativity, and effective decision-making are built. It is the ability to see your thoughts and priorities clearly, free from confusion, overwhelm, and distraction. Cultivating mental clarity requires more than simply wishing for a calm mind. It demands intentional habits and practices that sharpen your awareness and enable you to manage the constant influx of information and stimuli in today's world. Mental clarity allows you to navigate complexity with ease, act decisively, and maintain emotional balance even under pressure. One of the primary obstacles to mental clarity is mental clutter, the incessant stream of thoughts, worries, and unfinished tasks that occupy space in your mind. This clutter not only reduces your ability to concentrate, but also drains your energy and increases stress. Cultivating mental clarity begins with creating space in your mind by organizing your thoughts and external environment. Writing things down, whether through journaling, making to-do lists, or planning your day, helps transfer mental load onto paper. This process reduces cognitive overload and frees your brain to focus on what truly matters. Another key aspect of mental clarity is learning to prioritize and simplify. When faced with numerous demands and distractions, it is easy to get lost in multitasking and reactive behavior. However, multitasking often leads to scattered attention and poor performance. Cultivating clarity involves identifying your highest priorities and dedicating focused time and energy to those tasks. Simplifying your commitments and creating boundaries around your work and personal life reduces noise and allows deeper focus. This clarity about what deserves your attention enhances productivity and reduces burnout. Mindfulness practices are powerful tools for developing mental clarity. Mindfulness means bringing non-judgmental awareness to the present moment, observing thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. Regular mindfulness meditation trains your brain to become more aware of distractions and gently redirect your focus back to the present. Over time, this practice improves attention span, emotional regulation, and resilience to stress. Mindfulness also helps break the cycle of rumination, where repetitive negative thinking clouds your mind and drains your energy. Digital distractions are a significant threat to mental clarity in the modern age. Constant notifications, social media feeds, and endless streams of news fragment your attention and foster reactive, shallow thinking. To cultivate clarity, it is essential to establish digital boundaries. This can include setting specific times for checking email or social media, turning off non-essential notifications, and creating device-free zones or periods in your day. Managing your digital environment reduces cognitive interruptions and allows deeper engagement with your work and relationships. Physical health is intimately connected to mental clarity. Sleep deprivation, poor nutrition, dehydration, and lack of exercise all impair cognitive function and increase mental fog. Supporting your brain with sufficient rest, nutrient-rich food, hydration, and regular movement ensures that your mind is physically prepared for clarity. Mental clarity is not solely a product of mental effort. It is a state that arises naturally when the body and brain are functioning optimally. Breathing techniques can also quickly restore mental clarity, especially in moments of stress or overwhelm. Deep, slow breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the mind and body. Practices such as box breathing or diaphragmatic breathing help reduce anxiety and restore focus. Integrating these techniques into your daily routine or using them as tools in challenging moments can anchor your mind and clear mental fog. Another important factor in cultivating mental clarity is learning to manage emotional responses. Strong emotions like fear, anger, or sadness can cloud judgment and make it difficult to think clearly. Developing emotional intelligence, recognizing, understanding, and regulating your emotions enhances clarity. This involves self-awareness and reflection, as well as seeking support or strategies to process emotions healthily. When your emotional state is balanced, your mind naturally gains clarity and calm. Creating a physical environment that supports clarity is often overlooked but vital. Cluttered, noisy, or chaotic spaces increase cognitive load and distraction. Organizing your workspace, reducing unnecessary stimuli, and designing spaces that inspire focus and calm contribute to mental clarity. Simple changes like natural light, plants, and clean surfaces have been shown to improve concentration and mood. Mental clarity also depends on curiosity and openness. When you cultivate a mindset of learning and exploration rather than judgment and fixed beliefs, your thinking becomes more flexible and creative. This openness allows you to see new possibilities and solutions that are otherwise hidden by mental noise and rigidity. Ultimately, cultivating mental clarity is a lifelong practice that requires patience, discipline, and self-compassion. It is a skill you build over time by developing habits that support focused attention, reduce distractions, and nurture emotional balance. With greater clarity, you gain control over your mind rather than being controlled by it, empowering you to live intentionally and effectively.